getting the most out of TLA, don't be the person that's just taking the class to take the class, right? So raise your hand if you're not a freshman in college. Have you guys had those classes where you're kind of just going through the class to get your credits, but not actually listening to what the teacher has to say? Right, that's not TLA. Okay, guys, this can change your life and will change your life if you allow yourself to. Does that make sense? So don't take the class just to take the class, check a box, right? Actually pay attention because it will change your life forever. Take the class to be a better leader, right? Now for your future, but also if you're going to run an office next summer, right? Take the class to be a better spouse, a parental figure, right, for your future kids and your family. The next thing I think about is, with TLA books, right? You guys will have books throughout the process and book reports, right? Don't be that person that's just using ChatGPT to, do the book report the night before, right? I'm sure some of you are guilty from that from last year, right? But again, do you think we're giving you the books just to have a book report, or who do you think the books are for? For you guys, right? We've already read the books. Like Mr. Harris has read over 100 plus books, and he specifically picked these books depending on where you are right now in the business. Does that make sense? So make sure you're reading the books to actually get the knowledge from them, not just saying, hey, I read the book to turn in my assignment. Right? We're not grading this. We're not a teacher. Does that make sense to everyone? Right? This is for you and not for your managers. Okay. I write down speed of implementation. Excuse me. Right? You'll see some people who take notes, but then never look at them again. Right? I'm sure you guys have heard this from conferences before, right? But with TLA, it's actually changing your life, right? So when you learn things, right, make sure you're implementing them as soon as possible. Because again, to know and not to do is what? To not know in the first place, right? So make sure you're implementing what you learn. Let's see, from people who've already gone through TLA, what would you guys say getting the most out of TLA?
It's going to set you up for the entire summer, so you probably take as many notes as possible so you can reflect on it for summer.
I like that. That's good, right? So for those who are going to run offices next summer, right? So take it seriously because this is literally to prep you to run an office, right? Or be an assistant role, okay? And typically we don't have assistant managers if they don't go through TLA, right? So take a lot of good notes so you can reflect on it later. Okay, I like that, Jordis. All right, what about Kira, Mia?
I would say when you leave here, just take action to implement the things that you're learning and to make sure that you're staying consistent with your momentum, especially a lot of people going through the first couple weeks of classes, you need to be getting demos on the board.
100%, right? Raise your hand if you're a freshman. Right, raise your hand if you've already made a sale, right, since classes started. All right, not as many hands, right? So I would say definitely make sure you're taking action. All right, then Mason, grab a chair next to Stratton over there. Right, so make sure you're taking action, leaving this meeting immediately, okay? I'd write down, take advantage of the edge. You'll hear Mr. Harris talk about this today, right? But make sure you are separating yourself, okay? Now, for some of you, you were third round picks, second round picks, first round. I remember for me, I was a third round pick, right? But my next TLA after that was first round pick, right? So what are you doing to separate yourself, right? How do you show up to the meetings, right? Are you dressing professional? Are you showing up on time, right? I would ask yourself this question, write this down. How do you want to be perceived when you enter the room, right? Because that has a lot to do with if someone's going to get promoted to an A player, right? You'll see all our A players today, right? But are you going to be the person that gets inducted the next month or two, right? Well, it all starts by how your perception is then, okay? All right, anything else from people who've been through TLA already that you want to add? Yes.
Like, keep an open mind.
Okay, good, right? Have more doors and more options than not, right? But what that means is you have to create those options for yourself by going through the process and taking it seriously. Don't be the person that has 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, I'm just going to try it out, right? Well, if you do that in class, what happens? You fail the class. Does that make sense to everyone, right? So don't do that. Don't look at TLA like another class. Look at this as an opportunity to change your future. Cool? All right, awesome. Well, with that being said, guys, I'm really excited to kick us off today. So we have Mr. Harris going to bring the heat for opening comments. So we're going to bring them up the right way. Okay, so we're going to do Trey. We're going to start slow and then build it up. You guys ready?
Yeah.
And then we're going to clap at the end. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, so Trey. Dang. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, and we're recording, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, excellent. All right, so first, I wanted to say that I appreciate all of y'all. Hey, I know that school starts for y'all on Monday, for most of you. Hey, and that's why we're trying to get it in with like a short turnaround so that y'all can get this in before you move off officially, everybody. Hey, we got people moving to New York in about, I don't know, 3 days or so. Hey, most is moving there tomorrow. Best, I guess we're taking over New York as well. Hey, but I appreciate y'all's commitment for yourselves and commitment to growth. So thank you for your time and being here today. Okay. I want to say congratulations on making it into TLA. Okay, these are our pictures. I wish looking back on it that the lady didn't get all of our bags. We did have a lot of to-go bags from that dinner. But oh, y'all can't see it yet? Okay. Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, I remember my first time. Okay, all right. So Ismail is gonna fix all of that so y'all can get up to date with our slides. Yeah, I think just trying to hit some different buttons and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like stuck.
I would just go, yeah. It's usually an HDMI 3, I believe. Like I said, I think it's an HDMI 3.
Doesn't seem too much.
All right. Well, I was gonna do this on break, so I'll just start with this and just mess up our flow. That's all fine. Hey, everybody, look at this real quick, okay? And then I'm gonna have someone calculate this later. Hey, so I messed up, okay? And I did, yeah, I messed up and I overcommitted, okay? And I told y'all when y'all put y'all's money into startup, okay, that I was gonna mail the check. That was aggressive to think I was going to mail the check on Friday after a 4 hour meeting with everybody. Either way, I have not mailed any of y'all's money off. Okay. So I want to confirm, okay, the amounts of money that y'all had put in. Okay. So y'all, we'll just do that right now. Okay. Y'all ready? Okay. So maybe look at how much money y'all sent, okay, on your TLA interviews, and we'll knock this out quickly. All right. Callie, you were at 1,500 on Venmo, correct? Okay, y'all, I'll pull it up. Okay, all right, let's see. Ian, you're 1,703 on Zelle, is that correct? Katie, you're 750 Venmo. Okay, she's in Tampa. Okay, let's see. Sophia D, 2,315 on Venmo, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Cam, $240 on the money order. Grab a seat. Okay, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then I have Mariella, $400. It says waiting on. Hey, did you ever get? Okay, so scratch that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. See, that's why we do this. All right. Now, do. All right. Then I have Daniela, $2,000 on Zelle. Is that right? Okay. Annika, 406 on Venmo. Okay. Parker, $2,000 on Zelle. Yes, yes, sir. These would be appropriate things. If y'all want to frustrate me, say you. Okay. All right. Makes sense. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then if you can get that other fan in here too, we'll get that guy put in. Okay. All right. Then I've got $700 from Wesley. Is that right on Venmo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Then Lucas, you gave $200 on Venmo and $100 cash, correct? Okay. Isaiah, $263.15, and that was a money order. What'd you say?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nate, one more. Actually, here's my biggest guy in here. Dude, we need bigger guys in here. Okay, I guess it's Caden. Caden's gonna be my new bouncer. Okay, so next guy here, I'm gonna have Caden pick you up and shake you. Okay. All right. So let's go back to Isaiah. No. So Isaiah, it was $263.15 on the money order. Is that correct? Okay, that's so much better. All right. Kiera, but it's Kira from Brevard. That 180 on a money order. Thank you, ma'am. All right. All right. Kira. Okay, y'all got a lot of Kira. Okay, all right, there's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with people. Okay, all right. I got $100 on Venmo from Kira, and is that right?
Yeah.
Kiera. Okay, all right. Stratton, $500 on Venmo.
Mayella, $300 on Venmo. Okay, Caden, $1,000 on Zelle.
Sir.
Vincent, $750 on Zelle. Musa, $1,000 on Zelle. You can unmute and speak.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Anna, $430 on Zelle. Lucas, 3,500 on Zelle and $500 on Venmo, so 4,000 total. Okay. All right, Ashi. 4,377. Okay. All right. Did I miss anyone's name that gave me money for your startup? Okay, so we're good on that. Okay. All right. Now, hopefully all of this is good. And then I can have someone calculate all that up and just write a big fat check. Okay. Now y'all can see everything. Yes? Okay, everybody on Zoom, we're good. Yes, yes?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right. So welcome to the first TLA prep. Okay. I appreciate your time being here. You're going to get a ton of value. Again, we're going to be meeting 3 more times between now and Christmas. And after that one is when we'll figure out who's going to be running the show and who will be an assistant manager to help other people run the show. I had a great time at Maggiano's with y'all. Hey, I am still debating though if we want to go to the Texas Day Brazil again next year or not. Okay, we'll have the top people pick on that. I always feel so fat after that one because we just eat a lot, and Italian is very heavy. It's very, very, very heavy, and I loved it though. Okay, we had a great time on DM weekend. Hey, let's see. Okay, so I go quickly there. We don't take pictures on DM weekend. It's kind of like Vegas. You know what happens? Stays there, right? Okay, so I don't even allow people to take pictures or anything. Okay, so really, actually, that was a picture from a year ago because none of us took pictures. All right. After that, okay, we did. There's a monster truck rally thing in Orlando. Have y'all ever been to a monster truck thing before? Raise your hand if you've done a monster truck. Okay. All right. So either way, there's this. So that's me and my smoking hot wife Meredith and Hudson and Brenly. Okay, and then Brenly's favorite, Sparkle Smash. Okay, so that's a big old truck. It looks like a little car one, right? Okay, but that's like real humans there. It's a big old truck, and it shoots out glitter from its nose. Okay, all right. So Brenly loved the glitter shooting out of the nose. All right, so then we had Daddy Day because I was working a lot during SC2. So Hudson wanted to go to the pool hall. All right, I'm like, when did you even do that? Like we did it on family vacations a few times, you know. But either way, so Hudson is actually pretty good. I bet he could be a third of our district managers. Okay, now, and then Brinley wanted arcade day, so that's her riding a motorcycle. All right, school started up. Okay, so Brinley going into first grade, looking cute as always, and she wants to grow up and be a veterinarian. If you can read the little sign, and then Hudson's, I want to grow up and be a businessman. Okay, so Hudson's going to 6th grade, ready to rock and roll. And now he is becoming a little man. When I see this photo, I think about y'all and your TLA journeys. That's where we're bringing this all full circle, right? So Hudson is now a little man, okay? Not just because Daddy doesn't take him to school anymore, and he rides his own bike with his buddy that they meet on the corner, hey? But now, when he has early release day, which I believe is on Wednesdays, hey, so they ride their bike to Publix. He now has a little Apple Pay. I still don't have Apple Pay, but and they go to Publix, they get the free cookie, and they sit down, they do their homework together, okay, eat a sandwich, and do their stuff, and they hang out at Publix. Like there's like a cafeteria area, outside the like pub sub area. And he does his homework, and so the mom's like, "Be home by 5," right? It's like, anyways, this guy is crazy. A lot of my DMs remember when he was like 1. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but anyways, last night he was like, "Oh my gosh, you won't believe how much math homework I have," right? I'm like, kid life gets so much harder, right? Okay, now. But the whole moral of the story, and you've heard this saying a bunch, what was hard for you when you were 2 is easy when you were 8, and then what was hard at 8 is easy at 12, and so on and so forth, right? Okay, understand growth is hard. That's the first thing I want you to write down. Hey, the growth is hard. But you have to do hard things because if you don't, and you do easy things, then you're probably going to set yourself up for a not awesome life. I literally have this slide from a year ago, and I think I'm going to keep it for every first time TLA. And it says African proverb: a cat that dreams of becoming a lion must lose its appetite for rats. Okay, so without reading the rest of it, how is that relatable for y'all right here, right now? You're a little cat, okay? You want to be a big old ferocious lion, right? Okay, and the saying is that you have to lose your appetite for rats if you want to be a big lion. What does that mean to you?
You gotta lose your bad habits.
Correct, right? So whatever your bad habits are, everybody's got bad habits. None of y'all are Jesus, are you? No, he would have had like the silver cup branch, you know what I mean? You already had it, right? Okay, now, so at the end of the day, what are your bad habits that you need to fix, right? Is it that we need to get more buttoned up? We need to get more cleaned up, right? Is it that we need to go to bed earlier so that we wake up on time? Is it that we need to put a little extra effort? Is it that we need to care about people more? What is it for you, right? To achieve greatness, you must let go of your old habits, okay, or it's going to hold you back. Now, I don't know if you can truly understand like where we've been and where we're going, but I try to explain it as well as I can. But again, just know that our division rocks. Okay, that we are the talk of the entire company. Okay, we literally just had Amelia was on it for a fall kickoff. Okay, but out of the fall kickoff, there was 3 main speakers, and 2 of the 3 were our division. It was me and Taylor, right? On how to rock the fall. We dominate everyone's faces off in the fall. We did dominate in the summer. Y'all are the #1 division in the entire nation. I mean, there's got to be around 40 divisions. Y'all are #1. I'll call it 14 out of 18 weeks. I mean, that's pretty impressive, right? We grew this division from 2.6 million, the best ever. I mean, think about it, in the company's history in our divisional borders, to 3.7, which is obviously a $1.1 million increase. But look at it, like mathematically, it's probably like an 80% increase of the best ever, right? Okay, then the 4 to 4.2, 4.4, 4.5, one rough year the whole company had, and then bounced back like champions at 5.1, 5.9, then 6.2, right? There's no one else that can say anything along these lines in the entire company, right? And why is that? Because we have great leadership, right? Hey, your district managers are great. Every single one of your district managers is not like a Jaden or a Brody who's brand new, right? Been open for 4 months or less, actually, like 3 months, right? All of them are mill and pill district managers, right? Which means they're the top ones getting coached by Scott or Jeff. Now, at the end of the day, we're going to need to have a strong finish to the year to get it to 6.4. Okay, but I think that we can make that happen with y'all. Now, we have not arrived. I would write that down, right? I hope that none of your goals were to make it to the first TLA, right? That would be awful if that was your goal in life, right? So you made the cut. We interviewed a lot of people. Okay, and y'all are the ones that we want to pour into. Okay. By the way, Jonah is a guest, and we want everybody. Let's all welcome Jonah. Say, hey, Jonah. Welcome. All right. Now, so he just started, but I see a lot of potential in him, and I think that he can be a big deal. He's got to get over 10K. I think you just hit it with your sale yesterday. No. Okay, $300 to go. Okay. All right. So, okay, do a good job. Okay, if not, Caden will buy $300 from you. Now, okay, but understand that we have not arrived by any means, right? We're like very, very much at the beginning of this journey. My gosh, especially if you just started this summer, right? Hey, from a 1 to 10 on what we have to teach you, we are not even at a 1. And the people who've already ranked for 4, I don't know, they were at a 4, right? So no one has arrived. I guess your algorithms on your social media pop up based on what you look at, but these both came up, this one and the next one last night, and I was like, I gotta throw those on the slides. Okay. So this one right here is like talking about goals, right? You're gonna realize your generation does a whole lot of freaking talking, right? And what I've found is that the people who do the most talking don't do anything when it's time to step up. That's what I found. Okay. Now, so the people who talk about it, talk more, plan forever, right? Start tomorrow. I promise tomorrow I'll do it. Tomorrow, right? Hey, really all they want is freaking attention, right? Okay, and you want to pay attention to that. Okay, and if you want to avoid those people, okay, the second type of person is the one actually getting out of bed and working on their goals. Do more, start the day, keep going, get results. Obviously, you want to be the latter of the two. This one came up on my social media yesterday too. By the way, I'm never on social media. Literally, I have Facebook. Okay. And I look at it maybe 10 minutes a week. Okay. And if anything, if you want to see pictures, there'll be only pictures that my wife tags me, and I've posted nothing ever. Okay, just throwing that out there in case All right, now if you try, either you succeed or you learn, right? I think about a branch that went out and did 50K maybe last summer, right? Okay, cool. Well, they tried. Okay, they didn't succeed to the level they want to, but they learned a lot about themselves. They grew a lot, and they're ready for round two. And watch what happens. They'll be the next Kira. They'll be the next Geo. They'll be the next McGill, right? Every single person that branched the second time this summer, either increased 80% or more, right? Which is pretty awesome. That means they all at least doubled up. Okay, or you can not try. Okay, and you're gonna sit around and wonder what if. Okay, we've got an awesome wrap up speaker, and I didn't even ask for him to be completely transparent. But my buddy Chris, who was a district manager with me a long time ago, right? He's like, Trey, I went to this conference, right? Where you're paying thousands of dollars to go to. And he's like, you taught me all of this stuff when I was 18 and 19. Hey, I'm crushing the game right now. I am like doing very well, right? They want to make me a partner in this firm and blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about it. And he's like, I really want to come and speak at a conference. I was like, well, the CFC's agenda is already planned out. Speakers have already been prepped. That's not happening. But I'd love to have you come to a TLA. And he's like, I can't wait. I'll be there. Right. So he's going to be driving, 3 hours round trip to come up here to give a 30-minute message to you guys. And I want you to take a lot of notes on it. Okay. Here's the point. I can tell you right here. Okay. I'll go with 90+% of people. Okay. That at least branched once, for sure branched twice. Okay, or were a district manager with me. Okay, because I'm the old guy, right? I turned 45 in a month, right? Now, here nor there, so that means what, 20 something years, right? All I'm telling you is that every single one of them are doing a really, 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 what you would all define as extremely successful. Does that make sense? Over a 90% chance, right? So the people who don't, right? I reached out to one person. That I really care about this person. This person didn't make it through TLA last year, and I wanted to reach out to her. And I was like, I was just thinking about you. Hey, we're doing TLA, right? Are you happy with your job, right, on what you're doing? Hey, or would you like to give it a go, right? And she said, I'm happy with where I'm at, right? Blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. She's like 19, 20, right? But I just know what's probably going to happen 5 years from now and 10 years from now. You with me? And again, I know the people who go through TLA and actually run the show and what happens to them 5, 10 years later. Okay. And I want you to be the latter of the two. Okay. I want you to write down it's time to elevate. All of you need to elevate and step up, whatever that may mean to you. I get it. We got 10K reps in here, right? They've never booked a PR, don't know how to run an interview, know nothing about management at least. Okay. We have people that are, 50K. We have people who have 2-time brands. We've got vet people in the room. It doesn't matter where you're at. It's time to elevate. You gotta do hard things. Okay, so I'd write it down, do hard things. I don't care how many times you hear me say it, do hard things. You wanna cut that AC down, see please? Y'all are hot, right? Or is it always just me?
It's always hot.
No, it's you that's not. Okay. Okay.
Guys wear suits.
Yeah, it's freaking hot. Okay, we weigh more than 90 pounds too, No, okay, all right. Haley's like, I weigh 115. Okay, all right. Now, anyways, do hard things. Okay, your path is more difficult because your calling is higher, so make it happen and shock everybody. Okay, that's you right there. Okay, so little 90-pound Mia just turned into a man that looks like he's balding and he's probably in his 40, about 45. Okay. All right, then you got what? You got the freaking rejection, the friends, the relatives, the society, the guilt, the whatever, your ego, haters, whatever. Okay. You are trying to get to your goal. You're going to have things in the way. Are you going to allow them to deteriorate your path, right? And not make things happen, or you're going to figure out a way to make things happen? Is everybody with me? Okay. If you're a freshman and you're about to move off to college, okay, I would write down, if you're a freshman about to move off to college, the most important thing is that you pick a good circle of influence when you move off. I was talking to Hudson, right? And it's like, even Scott Dennis, I learned this from Scott. He's like, listen, when my daughters and my kids want to hang out and have like a sleepover at their friend's house, he's like, one, I want to meet their parents and see what they're all about. Two, I want to find out, do they have older siblings that could or could not be having good habits or bad habits that could rub off on those people, right? And there's things that need to happen and for our children, right? And again, some of us are, I still, we don't know each other great yet, right? But I will coach y'all and treat y'all like y'all would be my own kids. Okay. And anyone that's worked with me will tell you that. Right. Now, here's the deal. The people that you're hanging out with are going to be real important. Okay. And that's why with Hudson, it's like I'm super tight knit on who his crew is going to be. Okay? And I can do it only so much as dad, right? But as him starting off middle school, right? Okay, because middle school, hey, heck, in seventh grade, that's when I started hanging out with nut nuts, right? I was a big old nut from seventh grade until Vector. Okay. And Vector helped me not be a nut. Does that make sense? Right. So if you're going off to your freshman year, be very, very, very intentional on who you're spending your time with. And understand that if you want to be successful, you have to go through all of these steps, right? It's not a question. Okay. You have to go through them. Okay. I think that at least 80% of you, okay, will be able to make it through all of these steps along the way and get to where you want to be, right? Everybody won't make it. Okay, so just understand that, right? So, but I think at least 80% of you will. Okay, but you have to do it for yourself. That's the next thing I want you to write. Do it for yourself. Don't do it for me. We'll be just fine with or without, one person for dang sure. Or 90%. We'll be fine with nobody in here. And I'm not trying to say it in a mean way. You with me? Okay. But you have to do it for yourself. You can't do it for your mom. Can't do it for your dad. Can't do it for anyone but yourself. Right. At the end of the day, you got to make yourself happy. Okay. I do want you to write this quote down, and I'm gonna have this quote at every single meeting that we have. The cowards never go. We scratched off. Y'all probably think we scratched off a lot of people today because some people never changed the people from when we switched it from SC2 squad to TLA and removed all the people. Some people didn't remove their people. Hey, we were going through a list of people earlier on the board, and it's like, who is this person? I don't even know this person, right? Okay, now, here nor there, the cowards never go. So there is at least one person that's like, I don't think I can make it, right? All right, hey, fine, no big deal. Okay, right? So go sell, right? Or don't, right? Okay, but the cowards never go. Okay, the weak will die off. Okay, so I'm just telling you right now, if people are going to drop throughout TLA, it's usually going to happen in the first month. Okay, so just you're aware of it, right? The first 4 weeks. Okay, you made it through week 1. Okay, all right, so let's make it to the next one, right? Okay, but it's usually that one. Okay, or it's right around winter break time, right? Between Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? And maybe it's because they get nervous because they know that we're making decisions right after Christmas. That's a possibility. Or they know that they haven't done the things that they needed to do to get the spot that they wanted to get, and then they feel like a loser if they're an assistant manager or something. That's a possibility. It's usually one of the two, right? But so I want to help y'all along that journey, and I'm actually going to give you a lot of good tips to help you with that. But do know that the weak will die off, and only the strong survive, and that's what we're here for. Them. Right now, no matter how long that you've traveled in the wrong direction, you can always turn around. Probably right that. So I hang out with a neighbor, Uncle John, on Friday nights. Okay, and my mother was visiting. I don't even know. We'll call it 2 months ago, right? And so we were all hanging out on the back patio. That's where I like to hang out. Okay, and somehow John was talking to my mom about because he knows my whole life story and everything, right? And he's like, "How proud are you of him?" Right? And she was like, either way, the point is, okay, is that she's very proud, right? Okay, and the main thing that she always goes back to is like, I don't know where you'd be without Larry, right? Okay, she's always like, I always told you these things, but you didn't want to listen because I'm your mom. But Larry, who's my division manager, who runs Carolina, hey, when he said it, I listened. You with me? And maybe it's because I respected not that I don't respect my mom. I don't know what it is. You just kind of listen. Sometimes you need to hear from different people before you actually grasp the concept, right? All I want you to know is that my mom will be the testament. I could have her wrap up a conference about the growth and stuff that how Cutco can help you be a better human. Make sense? Now, but you have to want it. Okay. What this is all about, this course is about raising your standards. Okay. And I want you to write down raise your standards. Okay. And beside that, I want you to write that you're always going to live up to your standards, no matter how high or low they are. If your standard is just to make it to class on time, well, you're probably going to flunk out, right? but maybe you'll make it to class on time. All right, okay, you'll probably, if that's your standard. If your standard's like, I just don't want to get above 200 pounds, right? Okay, all right, cool, you'll be at 199, right? You'll always live up to your standards, right? And we want to raise those standards. That's the whole point. Rory said, find people who are better than you and play with them, right? So who are you looking for, right? Now, on that note, okay, y'all already posted it in the TLA chat, is that right?
We posted in the players.
The A players,
Yes.
okay, you want to just copy and paste that and stick it into the other one? Earlier today, I posted this morning a coaching prep form. Did y'all all see that? Hey, let's take one step back. I need y'all paying very close attention. Make sure your notifications are on WhatsApp. That's how I will communicate with y'all, will be WhatsApp. Okay, so your generation doesn't check emails nearly as much as they should. Okay, so I'll communicate with WhatsApp. Make sure notifications are on, right? Now, at this point, and believe me, I'm in a lot of WhatsApp groups and I prefer to be in less. Okay, we have TLA WhatsApp, which is all of y'all. Hopefully, right? Heck, we have people in there that weren't in TLA, right? So hopefully all y'all are in there. If you're not in the TLA WhatsApp, raise your hand. Is anyone not in the TLA WhatsApp? I know you're not yet. Everybody else? Okay, good. We have that. We have a next level TLA chat for people who've already gone through TLA before. Okay, and then we have an A players, right? Okay, so we already have 3 groups amongst us already. Cool. Just make sure you have your notifications on. That's how we communicate, right? Now, you just posted it in the TLA.
Talking about this.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm a Delta Chi. Okay. And pledging a fraternity, you go through a lot of stuff. Okay. Like hard stuff. And you're assigned a big brother. You kind of like say, hey, here's the 3 people that I would want to be my big brother. And then they write like, who are the 3 people they would want to be their little brother type deal. Right. And then they put together who they think you would mesh well with. Make sense? And the purpose of the big brother is they know that you're going to go through hard stuff. They've already been there and done it. And it's kind of like someone who can help you along the way. Does that make sense? Okay. So a long time ago, I took that philosophy into TLA and we have our A players, which is, no offense to Wesley, but everyone and Lucas, but everyone in the front row minus Lucas and Wesley at this point, right? Now, they have now done a draft. Okay, and you're gonna have a big bro or a big sis to talk to you. And now we're not talking about coaching calls. We're not talking about even weekly calls. Either once a month or bi-weekly, like a 15-minute call with this person. Makes sense? And they're there to kind of help guide you along the journey. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so I suppose before we leave here today, all of y'all should get up with your big bro or your big sis. Okay, and then y'all just kind of make sure that at least y'all have each other's phone numbers. And so y'all can start communicating. Now, it's important you have a good circle. Okay. Now, I have this slide every year as well. Do the work others are not willing to do, and you'll get the things that other people will never have, right? I think my generation was just a whole lot different than y'all's. I didn't have anyone giving me a hard time about this job. All right. Have all of y'all had at least one friend or someone in your life give you a hard time about the job? Raise your hand. Okay. Now, so everyone except, all right, so 100% of y'all, okay? I had 0, right? Now, maybe it's because if anyone said, oh, you sell knives, I'd be like, yeah, did you see my paycheck? They're like, oh, man, right? I'm like, yeah, show me your little freaking McDonald's paycheck, homie, okay? Right? All right, now, anyway, so I didn't get picked on, right? I guess back then we didn't really have social media, right? So it wasn't no like, oh, Vector was a scam, right? Okay, it's like, what do you mean? Like, I don't even know how they would have thought that, right? But here nor there, I never was given crap from anybody. As a matter of fact, all of my friends were always very supportive, encouraging, right? And they could see that we were going places, right? And they were the ones that are like, I want to make sure that we stay in touch because I think that I'm going to go places in life and that I know that in the future, the only people who are doing well can hang out, right? Because other people can't get off of work or can't do the vacations or do the things that they want to do, right? If you want to have awesomeness, then you got to do things that are different, right? You do understand that everybody that you probably know, or at least 90% of society, is going to work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with their little 1-hour lunch break, okay, for every day, Monday through Friday, for the rest of their life, from the age of 22 when they graduate college until approximately between 68 and 72 years old. and that they will probably be right around paycheck to paycheck, and just trying to get by. You do understand that, correct? Okay. So what I want y'all to do is I want you to work harder than everybody else. When you're young and you can, you don't have kids, right? You don't have a husband or a wife, right? You don't have these things right now. So let's grind it out now so that if you don't want to later, you don't have to. And you only do it because you want to. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the life that I want for you. That's the life that I have, that I am a walking poster board for. Does that make sense? Okay. And that's what I want for you. So you got to do things and level up now so that you can have awesomeness later, right? I would write this one down, and I want you to think about it throughout TLA as well. Okay, but actions prove who someone is. Words just prove who they pretend to be. That can go back to the people who are the big talkers. They say they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and they don't ever do it. Okay, that's just what they pretend to be. There's a lot of fake people in the world. I would say the majority of the world is fake. I'd conservatively say 51% of people are fake. Now, maybe they don't realize it. Maybe they just don't know their true self, right? And they're just trying to be what they think the society wants them to be. We're going to dive in today. What do we say about the 4 things with the Leadership Academy? Learn how to manage yourself, how to manage others, manage your business, manage your finances. We're going to talk a whole lot about yourself today, right? And you're about to learn a lot about yourself just in these opening comments. Now, but actions prove who someone is. Words is who they pretend. Now, these are A players, okay? And we're very excited about this starting lineup, okay? With Joey, Kira, Jordis, Mia, Amelia, Sophia, Caden, and Daniela. Okay, these are the people who are the front runners of this group. Okay, what is really cool about it is that every one of them have already branched at least once. Okay, minus Sophia, okay, Caden, and Daniela, okay, who have absolutely separated themselves from everyone else in this pack, right? So first of all, let's give our A players a round of applause because these are the freaking rock stars. So if this is the football team, they're the starting lineup. Okay. Now, and they're going to be the ones that'll be getting calls with you guys, okay, to help bring you up. Now, this was the coaching form. Okay. Now I spent a lot of money and a lot of time on coaching, right? I have a life coach. Okay. I've had a life coach for I don't even know, 15 years, right? Now, these are the questions that I fill out before each of my coaching sessions. So I want you to have them as well. It's already been posted in the WhatsApp, but if you get a call with Kira, right? Let's say you're like, Kira's your big sis. Don't freaking call and be like, hey, what's up, Kira? Right? I'll tell her to hang up the freaking phone, right? So you want to fill out a coaching form submit it prior to, okay, so that we can actually maximize the time that we're taking with each other. Okay, so it says the first question, what is the subject that I want to discuss? I want you to think through it. And by the way, when you actually are doing coaching on a normal basis, sometimes it may take you 30 minutes to an hour to figure out what is it that I want to talk on this session about. Are you with me? And you dig deep, but then you get more value from it. So what is it that I want to discuss? Hey, what do I want to achieve from this session? What actions have I taken since our last session? And what were the wins and challenges? All right. Well, that's important, right? What do I want to be held accountable for? Hey, what else could make this session great? So A players, right? This is what everyone else needs to fill out and give to you, submit to you before you even pick up the phone or have a Zoom call with them. Make sense? Okay. Everybody else, you have this form. Okay. So you know the guidelines for it. These would be great questions for you to help you maximize your time that you're getting with those people. Okay. The edge. I would write down, take advantage of the edge. Okay. It's now until SLC. So what I want you to understand, I've talked about the edge a couple times, but it was more like at CFC and there's a lot of information. I don't think everybody got it. But the edge is from right now, okay, so we'll call it a month from now, September 22nd. All right. Your goal is to separate yourself from everyone else in the group to a freaking top person. That's your goal. Separation is what we're going for, right? There's always people who are 1 foot in, 1 foot out right now. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh, I really want to be better, but I don't know. Is this worth my time? We'll go over that in a minute. Okay. Now, but not making a decision to be great is making a decision. You see what I'm saying? Because everyone else will be making the decision, and then you're going to be too far behind, and then you're going to want it, but you're so far behind that you don't feel like you can do it. That's what happens. I've done this a long time. Make sense? So what I'm saying is that right now, you want to be great. You want to start separating yourself right now from everybody else in the room. Yeah, we're all friends. Yes, we're all on the same team, right? But also they are your competition. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so the things that you do from right now, okay, until SLC, okay, are going to determine where you end up. Okay. Now, TLA, 100% worth your time. Okay. Now, for TLA, so we'll go through the course, right? We all understand what our agreement was, right? It was we have 3 more sessions between now and Christmas for the big ones live here in Orlando. If you're out of state, we'll zoom in and we can send the videos, and if you're a college athlete and all of that, right? I've worked with everybody, right? Every type of person, right? We got 3 more big ones. Okay. Our weeklies will start next week. Okay. So I'd write this down. Well, actually, let me take a step back. Okay. So we're going to have 3 more monthlies between now and Christmas. Okay. And then we're going to have our 90-minute one each week on Tuesdays from 3:15 to 4:45. If you're a first timer, then Taylor will be running those. If you're a next time, like next level, I'll be running yours. When the topics are similar and overlap, then I'll just put everybody together on mine. Does everybody get that? Okay, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so every Tuesday, 3:15 to 4:45, you all have that in your planners. That'll start this coming Tuesday. Okay, now I love the eagerness from Isaiah. He was on already this past Tuesday while I was doing district manager cap sessions. And he's like, I'm here, I'm ready. I'm like, hey, Isaiah, starts next Tuesday, baby, but I love you. Okay, and I love Isaiah. Now, Isaiah should be everyone's best friend. Just know that.
Middle of that month, he texted me, like, we had TLA money, and I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, and he like freaked
That's
out.
okay.
I was like, it's kind of nice to meet you.
No. We will do a great job of over communicating, I promise. That is not a weakness of mine. Okay. Okay. So we will over communicate everything. So that will start this coming up Tuesday. Make sense? Now, your goal should be to be an assistant manager in an office. Okay. Now, even if your home office is full, right, then we want to see if you could be an assistant manager virtually for a different office somewhere in the division. Okay, because we're going to learn how to do stuff today. We're going to learn social media messaging and how to recruit. Basically, today, management wise, we're going to learn how to recruit talent onto your team, right? The team with the biggest army will win the war, and then the sharpest army will win the war. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to teach how to recruit through social media today, and how to find the right people. Joey's going to give a talk on that, and how to find the right people, reach out to them, get them on the team, how to duplicate them, etc. Right? And then we also have Mia is going to be giving a talk on PR calling, right? And how to call the personal recruits and to, oh, what the heck did I just do? I just stepped on it. Okay. Now, but you want to get in an office where you can actually utilize it. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, regardless, you'll have your 90-minute a week with a manager, and where you're role playing it, or you're observing it, or you're doing it. Make sense? My advice for y'all that I would write down in your calendars: does everyone have a planner yet? Give me a thumbs up if you actually have a paper planner. Give me a thumbs down if you do not have a paper planner. Everybody show me a thumb. Okay, so all right, if you do not have a paper planner, find one that at least has a weekly here. Okay, I don't necessarily, just because it frustrates me, right? That was like 50 something dollars for the planner that I recommend when they're normally like 20, 25 bucks when you do it in November. It just bothers me. Okay. And you're only gonna be using it for 4 months, but I want all of you to have a paper planner. Okay, so for you two ladies, okay, and you need to get a paper planner. Okay. Now, I don't care about your Google whatevers. Okay. Now, this coming up Sunday, my advice for y'all, okay, because we're gonna go over PRs. Okay, my advice, and Ismail, if you want to post this on the DM chat, okay, is that you do your observation or role playing from 3:30 to 5 on Sunday. Okay, so in other words, you have your PSPs on Sunday anyways. Hey, all of the receptionists, the PR callers, and managers are booking PRs between 2 and 5 anyways. right? We're going over PR calling today. I want y'all to get involved in your office. My advice would be that would be the perfect 90-minute time. Okay, 3:30 to 5. So you just come in 90 minutes earlier than you would have come in already. Okay, so that would be my advice there. Now, okay, but you want to become an assistant manager, get on an office staff, even if it's not your local one. Okay, so that you can actually be in a role where you're implementing the stuff each week. Because if we learn it and then you don't implement it and you don't do it, right? Like if we talked about public speaking, but you don't ever give a talk, are you going to be a better public speaker? It's not going to happen, right? Okay, if we teach about how to recruit talent, but you do nothing to recruit talent, you're never going to learn how to recruit talent. Make sense? And it's like, yeah, learn it and then you got to do it, right? Now, so we want to get involved on that. Now, TLA is 100% worth your time. Okay, so you don't even need to write any of these. I like doing this occasionally. We're going to do it. Okay, all right. What are the pros of the Leadership Academy?
Learn how to manage business.
Okay, all right. Okay, y'all all think of one. Y'all all think of one. Okay, I'm gonna have you say it out loud in 1 second. All right. Okay. All right. Pros of TLA. Let's go. Y'all gonna shoot them out.
Business.
What?
Learn how to manage a business.
All right. Okay. So what we can do is we can go with the four we always talk about, learn how to. I'll just write manage self, others, a business, and finances. Okay. Well, we can go with those. What else?
Learning about yourself, how to
Yep.
yourself.
Managing yourself. What else?
Growth.
Okay. Circle of influence.
Growth.
Guys, that's what Chris and I were talking about recently. Do you know how much money that people pay to be in groups to go over the same thing that we go over? I don't think that you do, right? So there's groups called Vistage groups, right? Which each city has one. Everyone's spending $3 to $5 grand a month, and they're business owners in different industries because you can only have like one HVAC company and one lawyer and one whatever, right? And then it's in each city, and they go through all of the trials and tribulations that they face, how they overcome it, and to build each other up. Make sense? Okay. I hire guest speakers to come in and speak, all of that, right? Okay, that'd be a Vistage group, right? Okay, there's so many groups that people pay to be a part of or go to conferences like Tony Robbins and these things, John Maxwell and leadership, etc. Right? Okay, your circle of influence is unbelievable, and this is a tight freaking group. Okay, and you need to not just be following people who are like 50, right? Okay, you want to be in a group of people who are like you, right? Okay, all right, circle of influence. What else? Okay, all right, breaking the mold. Okay, so how would I write that? I'll just write it. Okay, all right, so like Herrick's talk, right? Break mold. Okay, what else?
Speed.
Okay, all right, so being able to actually do it, right? So learn the things, be able to do it. What else? Okay, guys, I was a freaking business major, right? I double concentrated everybody. Okay? I have a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a double concentration in marketing and management. I don't think the one thing that I learned in college helps me to do. Now, and I'm transparent with it, right? Husband's talking some of his math homework. I'm like, listen, son, you need to be good at math, right? Math is business, right? Math is money, math, you need to be good at that, right? Spelling, they got spell check on everything now. You know what I mean? Okay, I can just, all right, okay. All right, but you need to have a good grasp, right? Friendly first grade. We got to learn how to read. Okay. We have to learn how to read. This is very important, right? Okay. But either way, here nor there, right? Your accounting class, guess what? I'll be your accountant today. Find a really, really great accountant that's expensive, and have him do your taxes for you. He'll save you way more money. Make sense? Okay, anyways, all right, so learning stuff, doing it, what did we say? Learning stuff you won't learn in school. All right, just know it's up there. What else? Time management, right? Okay, you can't buy that. You know how important that is, right? Okay, and again, I'm just telling you, I never missed a home football game. Not a one. Rocked them all. Delta Chi, leadership roles there. Okay, 3.2 GPA, which was fine for me. girlfriends, Cutco, everything. Are you with me? Okay, awesome vacations, right? You know how cool it is to be like, hey, girlfriend, you want to just go to California for a week? All right, everything's on me. Let's go. Are you with me? You know how cool that is? Like, I mean, when you're like 19, that's pretty awesome. Okay, now, but anyways, get good with your time management. Okay, what else? Okay, time management, personal growth. Okay, what else? Okay, skills for life. Okay, right. We could just so much. And if it's your first one, you're like, I don't know. This is just what they told me, right? I understand. Okay, all right. What are the cons to TLA?
See Trey all the time.
Okay, you got that's a hold on. Let's go. Trey time. That's a big pro. All right. Okay, all right. So con, we have Caden. Okay, what else? Okay, all right. That's where we're going with it, right? So once a month. All right, and then the 90 minutes a week. Okay. All right. Are there other cons? Okay.
So.
I don't know if you know they just really need to be committed to that.
Gotta spend
You with
money
me?
on gas.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Gas to get here for that. So gas there, right? Which we could go back to here and have standards.
Free water. Plus.
Okay.
Free water.
All right. Okay. Caden will pour your water for you. It would be a plus. Okay. All right. Okay. Here's where I'm going with this, guys, for time's sake. Okay. Is that we could probably elaborate on this one and make it 100 things, right? I don't think that there's any cons except your time that you need to put in once a month and your 90 minutes a week. Okay. And your 90 minutes of observation. Does that make sense? Okay. So, make wise decisions and don't be a nut. Now, no matter how bad things go, you're still way ahead of everyone who isn't even trying. And I think that's important that you understand that. Okay. You do want to focus on Cutco through college. I cannot emphasize that enough. That is the best decision for you. Okay. It will be Cutco through college. Okay. We already talked about this, but you are going to learn how to manage yourself. I'm telling you right now that we could ask these ladies right here. Okay. And there. Okay. The ones that have ran a branch this past summer. Hey, what would you say your ability to manage yourself was? Truthfully, and y'all are obviously top people to start with. At 1 to 10, what do you think your ability to manage yourself was before summer versus now? Let me just hear it. Before summer, 1 to 10, what would you rank yourself?
5.
And now what would you rank it?
Yeah, I would have said 7 and now 9.
Okay.
6 and now 8.
Can't buy that stuff. You with me? Okay. All right. Being able to manage other people. What other company who in their right mind would allow a 19-year-old child themselves to manage other people? Do you see what I'm saying? Hey, but you're going to learn a lot through it. Hey, managing your finances, I'm really great at that and I can help you and manage a business. Okay. I would write down here, like, just focus on being better than you were yesterday. Right. Okay. So it's like some people, I'm going to be the best. Right. And by the way, it's really hard in going in any sales company. When there's a sales report, there's a newsletter every week, right? I'm going to put you in a spreadsheet with your matrix score to show you where you are ranked against everyone else in your class, right? It's hard to not compare yourself with others, right? But at the end of the day, the most important thing is you compare yourself with yourself, and you're just being a little bit better than you were before. Okay, that would be a good advice for you. Okay, the most successful people are not the most inspired; they're consistent. I would just again, motivation dissipates, self-discipline will get you where you want to be. Hey, you can't lift 1,000 pounds at one time, but you can do 1 pound 1,000 times. It's tiny repeated efforts that'll get you where you want to be. Okay, don't try to do everything in one night. All right, I'm gonna see if I can make this work. This might need your help, buddy. All right, he does say one curse word in here just to prep you. Now, can y'all even hear it? It's my okay. Let's see if y'all can hear it. Um,
Actor, man, I want to be an actor just like you. But I was just sitting here thinking, and it dawned on me, 99%.
All right, y'all listen up. I'm gonna do this again, and it's gonna do it again. Are you ready?
A dude screamed to me the other night, "Hey, Will, I want to be an actor, man. I want to be an actor just like you." But I was just sitting here thinking, and it dawned on me, 99% of people that say stuff like that are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. You know, something as simple as food and eating. It's not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. Every day, we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest. Right? So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're going to kick yourself in the balls? So you're going to stop yourself from getting what you dream. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
All right, what's stuck out to y'all there? Hey, what a great job repeating the last sentence, man. Can we all give him a round of applause? That was really great, Parker. Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna have so much fun getting on him. Okay. Now, Parker might be my favorite person to get on this ball. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure that that's what's gonna happen. Now, yep, I understand. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. What else besides Parker's awesome answer? Okay. All right. There it is. You versus you. Okay, right, definitely. Okay, so sometimes, yes, self-discipline. It's all about self-discipline. Okay, all right. If you're gonna quit anything, quit being lazy, quit making excuses, quit waiting for the right time because the right time will never happen. There's a saying: if you wait to leave your house, if you wait till every single stoplight turns green before you leave your house, you'll never go anywhere. Right? Okay, so just think about that. Now, all right, y'all all understand how this works? I know I got things all different now with faces and stuff. All right, y'all have a picture of this for your matrix score, correct? Okay, so if you don't, take one real quick. Okay, so starting next TLA, the one a month from now, September 18th. Okay, it's my eve. We'll put everything together in a spreadsheet. Okay, and with your exact grades on everything. Okay, so you'll see what your actual score is, so you know what you want to keep focusing on. At the end of the day, we want to make sure your personal sales are high because it's hard to coach people to be great at sales if you're not, right? That your startup's where it needs to be because if you don't have money, you can't open a business regardless. Hey, your management skills are good. Hey, so we want to make sure you're getting repetition and getting good at these things. Hey, your fall campaign, because I need to see that you can handle doing a whopping 3 appointments around your 12 to 15 hours of class and your 90-minute TLA, right? Okay. And then intangibles. Okay, which is can you step up during pushes? Are you a good person? Do you carry yourself a class? These types of things. Okay. Now, all right, here are your deadlines, okay, for your financial checkpoint. So I want you to take a picture of that. Okay, so this is branches. Okay, so everybody needed to have $100 in by the first TLA. Hey, if you don't have $100 by today, right, then at best will be an assistant manager. Does everybody understand? You have checkpoints along the way, right? So there's because it's unbelievable. Okay, I had somebody, okay, that's no longer going to be is no longer with this company, right? Or I'm getting an email about a receptionist was not paid on time, right? Well, I don't need to deal with that. I got enough stuff to deal with, but now I have to stop all of my stuff and deal with that stuff because that person was irresponsible. Does that make sense? And now, so I need to know that you can hit financial checkpoints. So I know that you can pay your rent on time, right? That you can pay your people on time, right? Like responsible adults do. Make sense? Now, so you need to have $500 in by September 18th. And these are not goals. You see what I'm saying? And it says minimum, right? Your goal is to have more than $5,000 in startup, so you never have to stress. We talked about that with A players, right? So, Mia had how much? Right, $3,000, right? She hit the minimum, right, for branch. And she fought the financial pinch around what, late June?
Yeah.
Okay, which is normal, right? Jordan's had $8,000 to start up. She never had to feel a pinch ever. Does that make sense? Okay. Now both of them are doing great, well, financially now, right? But when you're running the business, the last thing that you want to be thinking about is, do I need to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today so I can pay my receptionist all the time? Make sense? Okay. The answer is yes. Eat the peanut butter and jelly sandwich and pay your receptionist all the time. Okay. Now, so those are minimums. These are not goals, right? So, boom, if you miss a minimum checkpoint, then we're closing the door. Okay. And this is really where you want to be. For districts, okay, a district territory, I've got I'm not sure if I'm going to allow someone to be a district if they haven't branched. Let me just make that clear, right? So I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that you're going to need a branch, okay? And then if you do a good job as a branch, then you can either stay open as a district or come back and get fine tuned for 8 months and then go out as a district. Make sense? Because see, what I've done in the past is like, oh, you're done with school, you already graduated, blah, blah, blah. Well, now I got to give you one of my better territories because if you're going to be open as a district, you need to have colleges to recruit from in the fall and spring, which means typically a bigger market, right? Well, if my branches are better than yours, but you're just not in school, that's not really right. You see what I'm saying? So here nor there, that's what's actually happening. Now, so if you want to be a district, then you need to have already branched. If not, then you can be a branch. And then if you're not in school, then great. Then you could go district in September or come fine tune yourself with me or a vet DN and then go out and dominate the right way. Now, you already saw our first round picks, second round pick, third round pick, third round pick. You see where you were. Okay. I just want to remind y'all that you were what? Number 3 from the bottom, right? Okay. So she was literally right here. Only 2 people did me a beat, okay, at the CFC draft, right? So, and then guess what? She turned it on, okay, and started picking them off, sniping them. Does that make sense? So, wherever you're at right now doesn't mean that's where you need to stay, okay? But you do want to make sure that we're elevating if you just barely made the team. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Okay. Now, what have we already gone over at CFC? We went over time management. Haley gave a great talk, right? So can you imagine playing on 2 soccer teams, being an assistant manager, a silver cup assistant manager, right? Like selling, like, I don't even know, at least 50K, all of these things, right? And rocking college. You see what I'm saying? Right? You can have all of those things. I'm going to dive in deeper on some time management stuff today to even elevate that more. Okay, what else did we go over? We went over core value index, CVI. Ismail gave a great talk on that. Hopefully you really like are absorbing it and looking at yourself as your CVI and then thinking about who are the ones around me that I care about in my life. And if you still haven't had them take their CVI, then that's on you, right? I would have them take their CVI. There's chair over here for you. Okay. Now, but are you utilizing it, right? To know and not to do is to not know at all, right? I would deep dive more on CVI. I will help you be a better manager and a better leader and a better coach. Just step on through. Okay. Now, so bottom line is knowing, use it, right? Jill gave a great talk on managing your emotions on emotional management, right? So again, are you utilizing it? Okay. George gave an excellent message on leadership, right? Have you reviewed it? Are you being a leader day to day in your office? Okay. So these are the things that we've gone over so far that would have nothing to do with Cutco. Time management, understanding CVI, emotional management, leadership. Okay. These are the things we've gone over today. Or I guess it's CFC, right? Okay. Today, okay, what we're going to be going over are the 5 love languages. Okay. I'm going to have you do an exercise to figure out who you are as a person, right? Okay, so we're going to deep dive more because you have to know who you are so that you can actually be comfortable with who you are so that you can lead people from an authentic way, right? These are your books, okay? So I want you to take a picture of them or write them down, okay? These are the books. If you're a first timer, these are your books. Now, September, don't let the title fool you, okay? The title is called How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? Well, that right there sounds like a pretty like a silly title, right? If you're like a social, yeah, I already have lots of friends, right? Okay, all right, yeah, great. Now, so how to win friends and influence people is a great way of learning how to connect with people and helping you elevate when you connect with people, right? That is the first book that I want you to read. Now, okay, I got just so you understand, maybe I would write this down. Hey, but have y'all all been to our divisional website, thefloridaelite.com? Okay. So I would write this down because I have all of the audibles already on our website. So you can just download and listen to the audible. Hey, if you prefer to buy the book on Amazon, buy the book as well. Okay. What I actually do, it's crazy because I'm like the slowest reader ever. I literally listen to the audible with my noise canceling headphones, have the book in my lap, have a highlighter, and a notepad and a pen. Are you with me? Okay. So I'm hearing it, I'm seeing it, I'm highlighting it, I'm writing it, I'm absorbing the information from the book. Does that make sense? That's how I learn best, right? You maybe are different, right? I have the audibles that y'all can download for free on the website. Okay. So again, what to write down? thefloridaelite.com. Then when you put the cursor over login, which will be on the top right, login, a drop down box will appear. Okay. Click TLA login. I'd write these steps, TLA login. And then the password is AIR, right? Like what we're known for, AIR, authentic integrity resilient. So all caps, AIR 123. AIR 123. All caps, no spaces. Everybody got it? AIR 123. Okay. Then you will scroll, then lots of information will pop up for you. Okay. Now it'll say growth audios. Okay, click growth audios. There'll be like your first 50 books of your life that you should read would be this. Does that make sense? Now, so all I'm telling you is that I have the audibles. Okay, listen to them, right? The first one, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is unbelievable. And I think that y'all are all good with people skills. Okay. I think y'all got hurt with COVID. Y'all came a little weird, socially awkward as a generation, not you, but maybe you. Okay, all right, okay. All right, but here nor there, we need to get better at connecting with people. Okay. That would be your first book for September. Okay. Now, what I used to do before Chat GPT, okay, is that everyone literally sent me a book report each one. I'm literally marking off who sent me book reports and reading through it, spot checking around, not like really reading everyone's because that would be a lot of extra work for me. Right, but spot checking everything, right? And they'll have a discussion on it, and that's where I can call people out, right? Like young Taylor Katie, little 18-year-old Taylor Katie. I'm like, oh yeah, so yeah, what about this part in the book? And he's like, right. I'm like, all right, then, got you. Okay, now, but anyways, the point is, these aren't like a chore, right? These are, hey, these are the books that you should read to help you be better. So the first one's connecting with people. The next one is all about you managing yourself, right? This is one of the best books ever, Positive Intelligence, because everybody's got some big old saboteurs, right? Okay, whether it's the avoider, right? And all right, okay, whatever, the hyperachiever, whatever. There's a whole bunch of different ones, right? You need to know which one you are, and it talks about how to get better with it, right? Rich dad, poor dad is your first basic thing. See, the funny thing is all y'all want to hear about is money. Well, if you don't get good with people and you don't get good at managing yourself, you're not going to have any money to manage. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? So they all kind of flow together. But Rich Dad Poor Dad would be your first basic financial book, right? Then 1 Minute Manager, which is really one of the best books on coaching people, managing people. Does that make sense? Okay. So y'all have this. Okay. Now, I'm not going to have you put a book report together for me. Okay. Because I'm not going to, now y'all Chat GPT stuff, right? All right. It's crazy. It's stupid. Write a one-page book summary like you're an 18-year-old white male, on how to win friends and influence people. Blah. Here you go, Trey. Right? Sure, that's gonna help y'all. All right, now the crazy. So now I don't do book reports anymore, but here's my advice for you. Okay, is that I would have you do a book report, and I would do it in a one-page document, right? And so that way you can reread over it in April before you're actually leading people on a higher level. Does that make sense to everybody? Literally, my district managers right now, I'm having them reread their notes. And a lot of them are like, I want to reread this book because I only did it maybe 7 out of 10 my first time going through TLA. Because see, your second time through TLA, we have different books. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so do it the right way because you want to get better. All right, at this point, most of you have already done the events training. Okay, tonight. Okay, we have Kadeem Samuels, who is my number one guy, just so you know. I mean, I think at this point it might be like 5 million or something like that. So He's going to be getting y'all certified for sharpening. Normally, when we finish these TLAs, the monthly, we'll go do a team night out. And because Kadim's going to be here at 6:30, then we won't have a team night out this time. But we will the next two, and then the Christmas party will be at my house on the December one. Got it? Yes, yes. Okay. All right. So again, you should already have these in there, but September 18th, October 16th, December 12th, will be the final one for the fall. Okay, that'll be a Saturday, so that way all of my New Yorkers and everybody else will be back in town. Okay, because you're gonna want to be at my Christmas party. All right. Okay, now this is very important, and I want you to kind of take a picture of this. Okay, I'm gonna have you two pictures. So this is where we start to learn about ourselves more. Maya, what time am I supposed to be done with this? So good. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Got letters, we got LOIs to read. Okay. Here's what I need you to understand. So does everyone have the picture?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody focused and engaged?
Yes.
Okay. This is not about your Cutco training. This is about every time you start something new in life. Everybody get it? Like this is talked about in so many books by so many people. I'm going to reference it to TLA. Okay. Now, so everybody starts off in D1 phase. Okay. Where it's very low competence. We don't have a clue, but we are so excited about it. Okay. This would be you wanting to be a branch manager at SC2. Does that make sense? All right. Jeff Gamboa talked about branch. It changed your life. That's it. I'm freaking branching next summer. Let's go. You don't even know how to book a yard, right? You don't even know how to run an interview. Training is hard to learn how to run, right? Okay. You're like, but I'm in. I'm freaking in. Okay. Now, so that would be you there. Okay. Now, if you're a first timer, all of you are in phase D2. So maybe I'd write, I am in phase D2 right now at this moment. Okay. Where you're kind of checking us out like, oh, is this worth my time? Can I do this? Oh, no, blah, blah, blah. Hey, we're checking you out too. Like, I want to put all my time into this person. Does that make sense? All right. Now, but right now, you have low to some competence. Okay. And we'll call it very, very, very low competence at this point because you haven't done anything yet, right? You don't even know how to book a PR, most of you. Your commitment level is low as well, right? Because now it's like first date, right? Okay, we can go with that too. Oh, she's so hot. I'm gonna marry this girl, right? And it's like, oh, wait a minute. You know, she's not perfect. She's got flaws here. I don't know, right? Okay, it's just it's your phase of any time you're doing something new. Does everyone understand? Good analogy. That's a great analogy. Okay, no, that was excellent. Yeah. Anyways, but low to some competence, low commitment. Okay. Now, if anyone's ever not gonna make it, it always happens in phase D2. Okay. So maybe know that. If anyone's gonna drop, it's gonna happen during D2. Okay. Now, so your number one goal right now is to get from D2 to D3. Okay. So I'd write that down. And the number one way to do that is to increase communication with your manager. I'd write this down, guys. I think all of you, unless you've already ran a branch, you can write, I am in phase D2. I have a low commitment. Whether you want to say it out loud or not, I mean, that would be very normal. Now, maybe if you've been to summer AM and stuff, maybe that's different for you then. Maybe you're in D3, right? I would say that Luke, I could say that, I could go through and name all of you. Hey, there's going to be people in D3 as well that still haven't branched. You with me? But the vast majority of this room that started this summer, everyone that just started this summer is in D2 right now. Okay. And I just want you to know it's okay to say it out loud. Right. Now, number one way to get to D2 to D3 is increase communication with your manager. Okay. So, and tell them how you feel along the way. Because a lot of times y'all are like, I must be the only one that feels this way. Right. Okay. Everyone feels like you. Right. There is no feeling that you will ever feel that I have not felt at least 100 times along my journey. Does that make sense? Okay. And whoever is higher than you, hey, like Jordis, hey, has felt everything that Iris will have felt along her journey. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? It's just how it is, right? But talking about it out loud and getting perspective from people who are there, right, and how they overcame it, right, is what you need in your life. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, so either way, your goal is to get from D2 to D3. Okay, increase communication. okay, with your manager and start doing the functions little bit at a time. Like we're gonna learn how to book some PRs, right? Okay, let's get better with that. Okay. Now I want you to take this picture. It's the exact same thing. I don't know why it says S1 versus D1 on this one. Okay, but it just kind of breaks it down a little bit more, right? Like D1, low confidence, high commitment, but they need strong direction, right? So they need complete guidance. It's like, I'm a freshman. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I'm not like picking, right? Okay. But, juniors and seniors know how freshmen felt, right? Okay. Now, right. To, hey, I need more coaching over here, right? Strong direction here. Like, pick up the phone and dial it. Read this. Are you with me here? Okay. More coaching. Hey, if you phrase it this way with this tonality, you'll get this result. So you probably want to do that. Does that make sense? All right. So over here, more support. Okay. So here, like, they're just like, get out of my way. I got this. Like, go play golf. Does that make sense? Okay. Which is where we'll get eventually. Right. Now, this would be another way to look at it. And I want you to take a picture of this one. Okay. And basically, D1, okay, is where you're on that mountain up there, which is the Child's Hill. And it's like, I'm pretty dang sure that I know a whole lot. I sold 10K for SC2. I know a lot. Okay. And then now in D2, which is where you should be if you just started this summer, you're questioning how much do I actually really know? Right? Okay. And then we're in this insecure canyon. Okay. And then, okay, as we start climbing the mountain, right, which is the grown-up mountain, right, then these are the ways that you're going to feel along the way, right? Realizing that knowing how little you know is the first step in becoming someone who actually knows stuff. Okay. Now, there's 2 times to step up. If you did not have a big SC2 push, okay, then you could put these down in your calendars or you could do whatever. Hey, I do recommend less pictures because I wonder how many times you look at your phones after these meetings. Okay, but September 22nd through October 5th, hey, will be our SLC push. And by the way, let me not scare you if you're about to be a freshman, or actually it doesn't matter at all if you're a full-time college student. An SLC push in the fall and spring would be like if you normally do 3 demos a week, can you do 5? Does everyone understand? Okay, it's not SC2, right? We're not waking up at 8 a.m. and on Zoom and going 5 demos a day. Are you with me? Okay, so just a little bit extra than you normally would do. If you're typically doing 5, can you do 7? Make sense? Now, OLEN push would be the one that you would want to step up the most for. Okay, so SLC push is where your district managers and every district manager and higher in the whole North America will be flying for this conference, right? So you won't be at that, right? But you do want to step up and contribute for your team, right? OLEN, okay, is where you will actually be in front of the president and owner of Cutco, Jim Stitt, Al DeLeonardo, the president of Vector Marketing, and you will be giving your push report in front of them and Scott Dennis and all of the top execs of the company. Does that make sense? So that's the one you want to step up the most for. Does that make sense? Okay. Now that'll be October 22nd through November 9th. If you still haven't had a strong push yet, okay, these are really your only 2 chances to show that you can have a strong push, that you're capable of it before we make decisions on territories. Now, that's our factory. That's the famous Cutco car that all y'all are all going to want to take a picture with. Okay. And I don't know why. It seems like Caleb Johnson and the women love taking pictures with that squirrel. Now, that would be a photo from we will do hopefully we'll do the dang boat ride where we are at the bottom of and looking up at the Niagara Falls. Hey, because that's way cooler than at the top looking down, which is still going to be epic for a lot of you. Okay. That's us at the old factory. It's a Cutco awesomeness. Okay. We've talked about authentic, integrity, resilient. You can't be authentic if you don't know who you are. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Okay. I'm going to, my next slide. Okay. And by the way, I addressed this earlier with the A players. Okay. I don't care if you were in TLA a year ago. I think that your words change occasionally. based on where you're at in life. Make sense? I don't think my words will ever change as a 44-year-old man. I know my words are faith, family, integrity, and affection. These are my four, right? So that embodies me. Anyone who knows me would say that is absolutely you. You see what I'm saying? Now, but you got to get figuring out who are you. So what I want you to do, I'm going to post this pic. This is, I think that last one is wisdom. Okay. Now, so the last one is wisdom. Okay. So what I want you to do, okay, is I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. It goes by fast. Okay. I want you to narrow this thing down to 5 words that describe you. Okay. And then the next step, technically, we did the full exercise. You would have like 5 minutes to narrow it down to 10. Then I would give you like another 3 minutes to narrow it down to 5. And then you got to figure out what your top 3 are. Does that make sense? We're just going to skip the first step for time's sake. And at the end of the day, all I want to know is what are your big 3? Okay. And I don't really, it's not a fact. You need to know what are your big 3. Does everyone understand? Okay. Now, all right. So, boom, there are your words. If you need to take a picture of it, take a picture of it, zoom in on it. We're all going to be quiet. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I'm going to set a stopwatch. Okay, and I want you to take all of these words and I want you to narrow it down to 3. However you see fit.
Yes.
I would play music, but I'm afraid that if I do, it'll mess up the whole Zoom. So, what are your 3?
It's already been 3 minutes.
Nope. I was just saying, what are your 3?
I have one.
No. You don't have to say it out loud.
Okay.
Everybody's muted and being quiet right now. Okay, so y'all narrow down your words to your 3. Faith can be one of them too. I don't know why it's not on this list. Oh, spirituality is, so that would be that, and you can just change it to faith if you want. Mm. How much time do we have, Ismail? 1 minute, 20 seconds. Narrow it down to your big 3. You already have yours? Don't even look up or think about anything but your 3, and then face down, coming around, take 1 and pass it down. Pass this back 1. 10 first. Yep, and there you go. Face down, take 1, face down. Does everyone have their big three? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Any leftovers of the papers, just hand them back, make sure they work their way back to Ismail. Actually, we'll get them all to, yeah, get them all to Ismail. All right, time is up. Okay, so no more thinking about that. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Does everyone have their big three? Yeah, your big three, man. Okay. All right. Always one. It's always a guy too. You know what I'm saying, George? Now, all right. Okay. So, all right. Who would like to share their big three? That's not, this is their first time doing it. Okay.
I said, influence, caring, and coaching.
Okay. What was the second one?
Caring.
Caring. Okay. So influence, caring, and coachable. Okay. All right. Love that. Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right. Great.
Loyalty, integrity, impact.
Okay. All right. Love that. Loyalty was my fifth as well. Okay. Now, all right. I'll go one more. We'll go Vincent. Louder. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Now, all right. People have already gone through this exercise. What I want to know is, do you know what your words were from a year ago? And then have they changed? All right. So, Jordis, what were your words a year ago? Okay. Determination, family integrity, and what are they now? Okay. All right. So we've basically added impact to it. Okay. All right. Do you know y'all's? Okay. And then be ready for your letter of intent, you two. Okay. All right. Regardless, I don't want to take the time to do it unless you can do it in 5 seconds or less. Can you find it in 5 seconds? Nope. All right. Cool. We're moving on. All right. So, okay. What are your big three? Did y'all hear that in the back? Did you hear that, Stratton?
Control.
Okay. All right. Now,
Freedom, relationships, and impact.
Mine was competitiveness, determination, and loyalty.
Oh, the balance, faith, and passion.
Now it's confidence and loyalty.
okay. All right. Beautiful. Now, why do you think I just had you do that exercise? Right. Now you need to embody those, right? So I have no, I'm about to have you do a different exercise in a second. Okay. And it's gonna sound crazy to you, but I have like checkpoints of every part of my life from like years out. Does that make sense? Okay. And I have my goals every year is crazy, right? But you wouldn't have them if you didn't know what your goals were, right? Okay. But at the top of my page that I usually have laminated and on my mirror, right? Okay. It says faith, family, integrity. Does that make sense? Right. So it's like I see this every day when I brush my teeth in the morning, when I brush my teeth at night, and then anytime in the middle of the day. Does that make sense? And it's like, am I being that? Does that make sense? Am I right? So you need to know who you are. All right. So I want you to take those three words, maybe circle them, highlight them, and I want you to run with them and embody them. Make sense? Okay. And you need to be proud of who you are and what you're about. Okay. Because there's only one slate, right? There's only one Mason, right? They don't need to try to be like anyone else. There's definitely only one Callie. You'll know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, okay. So be comfortable with who you are. But here's what I'm telling you. I don't think most of your generation is, right? Okay. And again, like Patrick Eric's talk, breaking the mold, right? You just need to be you. But here's what I do know. When you're very comfortable with who you are in your own skin, you're actually going to be, you will really, what will happen is you're going to attract a whole lot more people, right? And you're going to feel really great about yourself, right? When you're like this lost little blown into one piece of paper, who am I today type will, right? There's no way you can actually really have peace and happiness. Does that make sense? Like it just isn't going to happen. And you're going to be fake, right? Now, all right. Now, everybody take the paper that I just gave you. Okay. Now, this right here, I always called it the wheel of life. Okay. But I guess technically it's called the wheel of awareness. Now, I want y'all to look up and kind of understand this first. Okay. I literally have my district managers and okay, fill this out once a month, right? And fill in our wheels to see what kind of gaps that we have. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you an example, right? So let's just say when I first did it for the first time, my social contribution, which I guess would be this folk right here, from a 1 to 10. So a 10, you would fill the whole thing in. And when I started, my social contribution was a 1. So it was filled into here. I wasn't tithing at church. I wasn't really giving back to people who weren't in my district office, right? Unless they reached out to me. And of course, I would be happy to help, right? My social contribution was nothing. Are you with me? Like a 1, right? And then, maybe my career, this is when I'm like, I don't know, 24-year-old Trey, right? And my career, I probably would have ranked it about here. Okay. At that point, okay, my finances probably would have been around the same there. All right. Then my personal growth, I was always pretty growth oriented. So that one might have been a little bit higher. Right. Health probably wasn't the best. Let's just say it was probably around here. Yeah, I was still eating like crap, needed to lose weight, wasn't going to the gym. Right. Family, that was always pretty strong for me. Right. That one probably would have been filled in there. Spirituality, 24-year-old Trey. It was probably like around here, about a half. Then I just started getting back into church at that point in my life. Okay. Not that making you go to church makes you strong in your spirituality. Okay. Relationship, but it definitely helps, right? Relationships. I was always probably strong there. So that one would have probably been filled in like that. Make sense? This would have been my wheel of life. So then, yeah, you're right. You fill it in, right? And then if this was an actual wheel, like a wheel of a car, right? And you have this big old hump taken out, it's going to be a bumpy ride through life. Does that make sense? Okay. So what your goal is to, one, you would have never thought about these in the first place if we weren't in this class right here, right now. Okay. But what I want you to do is that I want you to fill in. We're going to start off right now, and I'm going to give you like so understand if here's your wheel, if here's one of the little spokes of the wheel, if you would rank yourself a 5 out of 10 in that area right now, then you would draw a line halfway and then you fill it in. If you felt like you were a 10, I am perfect, then you would just fill the whole thing in, right? If you feel like it's like a 0 or a 1, then you probably do that. Does everyone understand? So what I want you to do is I want you to go and put your lines on where you feel like you are currently right now at this moment, okay, on each of these parts of your wheel of life. Now, for y'all, okay, on Zoom, I would probably just draw this circle and then just write what it is. Okay, and I'm gonna have Ismail post it right now in the TLA chat because I just emailed it to him like 2 days ago. He's gonna post that right now. So if you have a printer at home, right, then you could just print it off from there if you'd like. Got it, Zoomers? Okay. Ismail, you can just post that, right? Perfect. Just let me know when it's posted. We're also posting the soft copy on the TLA WhatsApp. Again, that's how we will communicate everything. Hey, so if I were you, I'd probably print off 8 of them, between now and summer. Or you just print out 4, do one at the end of September, October, November, December. And then you always worry about your own, right? Don't worry about other people's. I'll give you about 2 minutes to finish filling them out. And then I'll share thoughts on that.
Huge.
Spirituality, that would be like faith. Are you strong in your faith or not? You with me? Correct. Mm-hmm. All right. If you're not religious, then it'd be a 0 or a 1, right? You made some real strange face. That's why I make that. Oh. You got contacts? Huh? Well, yeah, you need to. I just had to go through that with Hudson. I'm like, you sat in the back of the room, you couldn't read the board, and you didn't even tell us. right? Yeah, but you can't always do that. Go get some context. All right, does everyone have their lines? Y'all can color them in a minute, and you don't have to do a perfect shading. Just do this. You'll get the point across. Some of you are just spending a whole lot of time drawing. You're like, this is coloring class. I thought art didn't start to never take an art class in college. Oh my gosh, I did that for an easy A. I spent more time on that freaking art class than all of my classes that actually would have kind of mattered. Do not do an art class in college. Unless you're an art major. And then I guess you'll be doing lots of art. Okay, is everybody done with their thing? Yes or no? Okay. All right. Now, okay. All right. Everybody good? All right. Perfect. Okay. So now kind of look up for me. Hey, you can flip it upside down, right? You don't have to start. Now, here's the deal. Okay. Number one. Okay. This is an excellent exercise because what I do know, okay, is that if one of your things is very, very empty, okay, you're gonna have a bumpy ride. You with me? Two, when it was put in front of my face when I ranked myself on social contribution, right? It was like, wow, this is like that was my biggest hole, right? At whatever, 24-ish, right? Um, since then, right? Like I give back, so I tithe, okay? Like actually really tithe, you know what I mean? Okay, not like tipping, right? But like 10%, you know what I'm saying? Hey, my family and I, we make homeless bags, right? Where we'll go and spend a couple $100, get these big bags with like deodorant, socks, beef jerky, snacks, and whatever else, like awesome stuff, right? Like I would eat them right now, type stuff. Hey, and then we give them to people, right? Like when we pass homeless people, right? And it's good to get the family involved, right? We're doing this, we help out at the church a lot. I was an usher a lot. I did lots of volunteering and whatever, right? Okay. The point is I noticed that was a big hole in my boat. If I didn't do this exercise, I would have never noticed that hole, right? Because you don't think about it. You see what I'm saying? Hey, so you want to kind of look at it and say, okay, do I have some big holes in the boat? Right? And then what can you do to start fixing that? Make sense? Okay. Now, and uh, it was like, okay, what if I'm not spiritual? Okay, that's fine. I'm not here to push any type of religion on you. And what I am telling you is that if we have a void in any of them, there's an emptiness that needs to get filled. Does that make sense? Okay, I do know that. Now, so here nor there, this can help you be aware, right? Then what I did is I took this exercise, right? And then I just typed it out on a Word doc. This would be really amazing for you that you should do. Okay. And at the top, I said, my big three, right? Faith, family, integrity, right? Okay. Then I put each of these wheels, these 8 spokes down, and I wrote down, what does a 10 look like to me? Okay, this would be an excellent exercise. I wonder if even half of you are going to do it. If you do it, it'll give you a freaking perfect compass to follow every single year to hit, and you will get where you want to be. Are you with me? Okay, so I would take this a step further and say, what does a 10 look like relationships? Well, I broke mine down. Mom and dad, wife, hey, Hudson, friendly, okay, my cousin who's like a little sister to me, right? Like those are probably the things for me in life. Makes sense. Relationships like family, right? Okay, or that would be family, right? Then the relationships, right? It was like, hey, my best boys, right? Well, guess what? We do a boys trip at least once a year, every year. Okay, and of course I'm the one in charge of it, right? If not, none of us would ever get together, right? Okay, this year we doubled it up and did a little Puerto Rico trip on top of it as well. Okay, but either way, I'm the one in charge of it always, or it would never happen. You will realize you will be in charge. Okay, now, but again, it wouldn't have been there and if I didn't put it in there, right? Now, here nor there, I want you to go through each and say, okay, what does the 10 look like? Now, by the way, that will change, okay, from 20 years old to 30 years old. Promise. 30 to 50, or I don't know 50 yet. Still in my prime. 30 to 44, okay, 44 and 9/10. Okay, all right, okay. But here nor there, it'll change as you progress through life. Does that make sense? This would be an excellent exercise, okay? to go through and say, and then I give myself checkpoints, right? So the easy one would be one to measure finances, right? Where it's like, okay, you got this much money in the bank now, right? Where do you want it to be by December 31st, right? I do a planning retreat with all of my with my top district managers, and we'll get a place at an Airbnb on the beach because it needs to be like a tranquil place. And we spend 2 to 3 days and literally just plan out, like reflect on the year, plan out the next year, look at where we're at in life, what our plans and goals are for each part of our lives, etc. It's a next level thing. Okay. But see, the difference is that I have complete clarity on where I'm going in every part of my life. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no freaking derailing. There is no, like, I'm very clear. Do you see what I'm saying? And I would like for you to have that same type of certainty, right? It starts with identifying what does the 10 look like to you at this point and where you're at. And then I'd recommend on the first of each month that you redo your wheel. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes or no? Okay. Now, all right, the last one that I think that I'm gonna have time for. Thought I was doing great on time and said, look at the rollie. All right, now, all right, so I want you to write down COI, circle of influence. And by the way, I think this will be great if you've already branched. I think it's great for everybody anyways. But it's good to kind of look at it year after year on, hey, wait a minute, this person's not in that circle anymore, and I have upgraded to this person, right? All right, but I want you to write down circle of influence. I want you to list out the in a vertical. Here's how I want you to do it. I want you to list their names in a vertical column, like, Bob, Tom, right? Blah, 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 right? List your 5 people that you spend the most time with. So are the 5 people that right now, currently, you spend the most time with. No, your life. All of this is life. Okay, so maybe it's your mom. Maybe it's your boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay, whomever it is. So who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with right now, like at this point in your life? Now, if you're a freshman and you haven't moved off to college yet, then I'm sure that that'll change some, but let's just go with current where we're at. So who are the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most? Once you have those 5 names, and again, just list them in a column because we're going to rank them in a second on something else. This is phase 1. Okay, do you have your 5? How about this? Look down at your paper. If you don't have your 5, look up my eyeballs if you do have your 5. Okay. Everybody has their 5 now? Yes. Okay. All right. Now we're about to grade these people 1 to 10. 10 being they are perfect. They are so good. Right? 1, they are freaking really bad at this. Okay. So beside, okay, I want you to go like you have these 5 people's names written down here, right? Okay, but then we've got this person, this person, this person, right? Okay, so right here we're gonna go grades. Okay, 1 to 10. Where's Bob? Right? Bob is a 10. He is an A+ student on everything. Okay, right? Or 1. Bob flunks out of everything. This guy can't even pay attention. Okay. Right? Or whatever. Rank them 1 to 10 on grades.
I mean, we can 1 to 10 based off how complete you think their wheel is, or just how overall good person and they are.
We're grading them on their grades right now, 1 to 10. If they're an A student, then they're probably a 10. If they're a C student, they're probably a 5. If they're an F student, there would be a 1. Is everybody with me? Okay, B, we would call it like a 7.5. Make sense? Yes or no? Okay, it's not about are they a good human. We're talking about their letter grades in class. There's no feeling involved with this one. Everybody with me? Okay. Is everybody done ranking those 5 people 1 to 10?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The next thing. So beside grades, go over here because we're gonna make another column. Self-discipline. 1 to 10. Rank them. Self-discipline, we can just sum it up as doing the things that you don't feel like doing because it's the right thing consistently. So rank them 1 to 10. 10 are the best. 1 is the worst. Got done with that? Okay, last one. Only a grade on being growth oriented. Wanting to be better, wanting to do things to help them be better in life. Grades or just letter grades. Self-discipline could be going to the gym, whatever, like every day when they didn't feel like it. And it'd be different ways to look at the self-discipline. Growth oriented, are they like success driven? Like I will be successful in life. Bless you. And then when you're done, look up. And if you're in the front row and you're done, turn around. I want to see it. Can't see it. Okay. We only wrote 4, correct?
Yeah, I know.
I remember my first time counting 5. Now, okay, all right. Now, for time's sake, I'm not gonna look at everybody else at the front rub. Okay. What probably should have just happened as you went through that? They're like, hey, some of these people are really good influence on me. Hey, by the way, that kid may be fun to hang out with on Friday night, but they're pretty much poo-poo and bringing me down, and I need to probably spend less time with them. Does that make sense? It's probably what happened most likely, unless you're just a perfect angel and everyone was a 10 at everything. Okay. But you need to pay attention to where they are, and you need to reevaluate who your circle of 5 are. And I think that your circle will also change. Will definitely change over time, right? But be aware of who you're spending your time with. Now, just so you understand, for time's sake, I'm not going to go through it, but I've clearly planned out every single TLA for the next 8 months, every weekly, every monthly, and what are the things that I want to teach you along the way. Okay. Now, as we're wrapping up with the opening comments, okay, when people are fully committed, and Lucas, you'll be first, okay, and they're like, I'm 100% in for running an office next summer, right? Then what they do is they submit a formal letter of intent, right? That'd be like a college athlete committing to a college or, whatever. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, and then I like to have them share. I usually will have no more than 2, okay, share their letter of intent, and read it out loud. And then why do I do that? Well, 1, it kind of makes it more official when you're saying it out loud. But 2, I think that there are people who are like, I want to be a branch, but I don't know how to write a letter of intent. And it's like, okay, this will give you a guideline for it. And also it'll help us get closer as a team because usually letters of intent are usually pretty deep. Okay, they're not surface level. Okay, so we're gonna have Lucas read his letter of intent. After that, Amelia, and then Ismail come up, or we'll go and break. I'll adjust timing based on these. So Lucas is coming up to read his letter of intent. Let's give Lucas a round of applause. And step over the course.
Give Trey a round of applause. Come on. All right. Dear Mr. Scott Dennis, Mr. Trey Harris, Mr. Joey Mason, and Mr. Dana Manron. I'm writing this letter with the full commitment to becoming a 2027 branch manager candidate. I've always known I was different from a very young age. Coaches, teachers, and parents would always tell me how I'm an inspiration because I never quit and never let other people's opinions bother me. This mentality has stayed with me throughout my life. Every time I face a challenge in soccer, school, or anything, I just find a way to prevail no matter what. However, last year when I moved into my dorm at UCF, adult life slapped me in the face. College was a rough transition, and I formed many bad habits. I just went through my daily routine mindlessly. My mental and physical health suffered due to this, and I was far from the dreams of being successful business owner one day. I didn't know where to turn, and that's where Cutco entered my life last November. As soon as I was introduced to possibilities for advancement, I knew I could start my journey of transforming into being a man I wanted to be and more. The first several months of the journey were quite difficult, and during this period, I was so heavily ingrained in all my previous bad habits and didn't have the discipline required to do what's necessary. At the time, my friends and family were not very unsupportive and constantly dragging me down. I didn't care about what they thought because I always told myself I'd do whatever it takes to prove them wrong. Motivationally, I was driven, but I didn't have the discipline yet. Things started to turn around with the mentorship of Jaden Manrod and the help with VCAs. I started to visualize what Cutco was capable of doing for myself. I gradually began to change my destructive habits over the course of February, and when March Madness push rolled around, I knew I was back on track. I was happy again and was dedicated to bettering myself and to becoming the best possible person I could become. Jaden once again provided me with an incredible opportunity for growth when he appointed me as assistant manager. Being a virtual assistant manager has certainly been tough, and perhaps I would like to have him spend more time with Jaden and the rest of the team. But in the last few months, I've grown in ways I've not previously known. I've grown with discipline, responsibility, leadership, and the ability to serve others. I realize what an incredible opportunity this is, and if given the opportunity to be a branch manager, I would be honored to have the chance to further my professional and personal growth while positively impacting the life of others. That is definitely the most rewarding aspect of being a leader. They have a sign in their land office that reads, "Everyone wants to eat, but few are willing to hunt." Well, I know I'm one of those few people. I'm fully aware that this experience will be extremely challenging and one of the hardest things I'll ever do, but I'm also aware that I'm also aware that the best way to go is to challenge yourself. Pursuing the position of branch manager will help me take the necessary steps closer to the ultimate dream of owning my own business and becoming the best self. The opportunity is daunting, but I find it equally motivating. With the guidance of those leaders around me, I'm sure I can meet this challenge head on, beat the competition, and be the best coach and leader that I can be. Sincerely, Lucas Holbert.
All right. Dear Mr. Scott Dennis and Mr. Trey Harris, I'm writing this letter to express my intent of being recognized as a district manager for May of 2027. I was always told that being a branch manager would be the hardest thing I've ever done, and it was. Running my branch showed me that I have the discipline to go the extra mile when recruiting is difficult. It showed me to remain positive when results are inconsistent and continue to move forward when circumstances don't go according to plan. I faced significant adversity, but those experiences made me more resilient and self-aware. Even though branching was the hardest thing I've ever done, I realized that working harder has never felt this easy. I've fallen in love with adversity because I know it's making me stronger, and there's a sense of calm that comes with going to bed each night, knowing that all the work I do is not just for me, it's for my team. And every day, my purpose is to give other people the same opportunity I've been given, and that has been more rewarding than I could ever have imagined. Every day, I let my why strengthen my mindset to push me through adversity. I want to build the lifestyle and habits of a high-performing adult, and one of the most important lessons I've learned through the Leadership Academy is that the people who accomplish the most often face the greatest adversity, and that life will continue to become more demanding. It's up to me to place myself in situations that push me outside my comfort zone and require me to grow. I want to run a district because I know it'll give me a stronger and more opportunities to face adversity head on, become a stronger person, and prepare myself for whatever life brings. People always say that your 20s are for finding yourself, but I believe they are for creating yourself. These are the years when you establish the habits and characteristics that will become the foundation for the rest of your life. I cannot think of a better opportunity for that level of growth or a better way to define who I am than learning to fall in love with pushing past adversity and helping others grow alongside me. I'm excited to commit to becoming a district manager candidate for the fall, before the fall begins, because that commitment will give every function I run as the Orlando Pilot Sales Manager an even greater purpose. I intend to use every opportunity between now and May to become a student of the business, learn from Trey Harris, improve my leadership, and prepare myself to successfully lead a district office. I know running a district will demand more from me than anything I've ever done before, but that's exactly why I want this opportunity. I can confidently say that I'm not someone who crumbles when circumstances become difficult or when motivation runs out. I'm someone who continues to learn, adapt, and move forward because the people I lead deserve my best. I'm ready to dedicate these coming months to proving that I have the discipline, resilience, and commitment necessary to become a successful district manager. Thank you for consideration and the continued opportunity to grow within this organization. I'm excited about the person and leader I'll become throughout this process and would be honored to be recognized as a district manager candidate for May of 2027.
So, whenever you feel like you're at that spot, right, 100%, not a 90%, right, then submit your letter, and then that would be your next step. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes, yes? Okay. All right, perfect. Now, I have no idea where my freaking Zoom just went. But here we go here. All right, now y'all can see this. All right, so as you can see, okay,